Hi everyone, Hugo here, one of the co-hosts of the show. What you're about to watch is a highlight from one of our most recent episodes. To get access to the full version, receive 2 exclusive episodes a month, get every episode 1 week early, and help us stay as independent as possible, support us on Patreon through the link below. Thank you. Now enjoy the show.
And I remember I was speaking with an Israeli woman who happened to, I think, serve in the IDF, but it was a mandatory, like how it is. I mean,
Right,
still
right.
they should completely say no and whatnot. They can take the 3 months of prison time and the slap on the
Mhm.
wrist if they had any moral fiber. But regardless, and I asked her, I was like, "What is it about Israel?" And she's like, "No, no, no, it's not about Israel. It's about being a Zionist." I was like, "Okay, what does that mean? What does being a Zionist mean?" She's like, "It means to love Jews and to be Jewish." And I was like, okay, but what about the Orthodox Jews that aren't Zionists, or like all these other people who are like, oh, there's a bastardization, right? The Messiah hasn't come, but the people who actually believe in the book and the stuff. And then she just kind of looked at me, and then she repeated, she was like, to be a Zionist is to love Jews and to love being Jewish. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I guess this is what they taught you. It's just the interesting dichotomy that you mentioned with the people
She
around
was
you.
trying to do Hasbara on you, bro. Like,
Yeah,
literally.
yeah, yeah. She's like, I've
Oh,
already
no.
explained myself.
Yeah, exactly
This
right.
worked on so many people. Why is it not
Yeah,
working on you, you Arab? I
Look,
mean, you.
yeah,
to be Israeli is to have the worst hummus of your life. All right,
yeah,
out of
yeah,
a
yeah,
can.
yeah. To be
So,
Israeli is to listen to the worst music you've ever heard and pretend you like it.
yeah.
Uh, yeah. I mean, like the idea that like Zionism, this is like one of the more annoying things about it, and one of the reasons why I think that it's useful to do our podcast is everyone's individual definition of what it is to be a Zionist, and
Mm,
everyone having this sort of like, what Zionism means to me is XYZ, which is, for the most part, when they say this, unless they are saying what a Zionist means to me is living in a ethno state in
mm,
which we will always have a demographic majority, and the only people with civil rights are Jews. Unless they say that, everything else that they're saying about it is useless, and it's
mm,
all propaganda. It
yeah.
doesn't serve anything but themselves. It is self-serving nonsense. And I think this idea of Zionism being this nebulous term that
Mm,
it means the Jewish people's right to self-determination, or it means that I love Israel because it is the promised land that God gave to us, or Zionism, it just means to me that we have a safe place to go. Like, none of this shit matters. What is the
mm,
result of Zionism? What does Zionism actually create? And when you confront people with those facts, uh in order to like stay being a Zionist, they have to say, well, that's not what it means to me. That's not my Zionism. This is it's just redefining the term
mm,
to fit whatever individualized moral set of principles or values that you have. It's like
yeah.
fucking, it's like when people say, well, what God means to me, it's like, I don't care what God means to you. Like, why? Like, don't create an entire state just for you. That's messed up. Yeah.
None of this holds any water when there's fucking people being shot, right? Like you
Right.
can like particular things about your way of life or your culture or your particular I don't know, ideology on which the state is built on, etc., etc. And you can in the milieu of a relative peaceful time, nobody's gonna people are rarely going to call out the inadequacy of most ideas of very ethnocentric national belonging. But when,
Hmm.
when people are being shot, you don't get to talk about how good the hummus is or how good the fucking
Right.
healthcare is. It's fucking psychopathic
It's
behavior.
psychopathic to anyone else, anyone who hasn't like been programmed to love Israel and love Zionism and self-identify as a Zionist. Everyone else is looking at this and going, you're a psychopath.
Mhm,
And this is where I feel like the neuroses ends, is like for them, a lot of Zionists, they just go like, okay, well, this guy gets it. Then they're just pointing at another
Yeah.
Zionist, and I'm like, okay, yeah, but there are other people in the world.
Yeah.
Like, can't we?
That's a cult, bro.
Yes, that's what a cult is. That's exactly what a cult is. Yeah, it's wild.
Since we're talking about since we talked about the family intersection and people in your direct life, let's move it to people that are probably also in your direct life, but not from your own volition or by
Mhm.
birth. Did you guys face any censorship or attempts at intimidation and so on by the actual Zionist organizations, or maybe even the Israeli state in one form or another?
Uh, Personally, not as much as I expected, and not as much as I used to get back when I worked at Al Jazeera.
Oh yeah,
Which I've kind of taken to, like, my theory about why that is because back when I was talking about Zionism in Israel and whatnot at AJ Plus, uh for the most part, it was a very specific, um it's a very specific, very niche subject and niche conflict, quote unquote. And so, they could use like Zionist organizations could use their muscle and focus in on, me, and try to get me fired, try to get me banned, all that stuff. But after October 7th, I feel like the reason why it hasn't been as much as I thought it would be is because so many people have been talking
too
about
much work, literally.
it. Yes, and so, like, I think that they're spread really, really thin.
Yeah.
Like they're like, well, who do we concentrate on? Let's concentrate on someone with a bigger platform. We only have so many people. That's why you see so many fucking, like, bots that are just
Yeah.
like that one, or not just bots, but like clear sock puppet accounts. Like, there's a bunch of like AI like photo, like profile picture accounts that are from India. Like, they're just Indians pretending to be Israelis on Twitter, and they're like, yeah, retweet if you love Israel and think Palestinians aren't real, and all the other, like, accounts,
The
like,
true Indian lion
yeah,
trusts
yeah.
in his Israeli eagle brother.
Yes, and
What even
and
is the Israeli animal? Like, what's the
it's the
animal?
lion. It's the lion.
It's
of
the lion.
Judah.
Okay, yeah, brother. Yeah, brother. The lions always belong
Yes,
together. Yeah.
the Lion of Zion. But yeah, so it's like, I think they're spread thin, and because of that, they're trying their best to deplatform people who are a lot bigger, or trying to, like, deplatform platforms, like trying to take down Twitch, or trying to end TikTok, trying to ban TikTok. It's
Yeah.
like they have their sights set on bigger uh you know enemies than the
Yep.
Bad Hasbara podcast. But yeah.
As far as I know, the
Absolutely.
only
Mhm.
the only targeting we've received is, the people targeting our ratings.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
true.
Right.
That's
Oh,
We had-
really?
And we had to activate the Iron Stars.
Yes, that's
get
right.
our piggies to,
Yes, we
to
were
get in
getting
there and give us lots of 5-star reviews, because our average score was going way down, and
Yeah.
the reviews were all the same, like
Yeah.
they
lies
are
about
lying
Israel.
about Israel. Israel is a great place. I used to be a big fan of this podcast, and then they started talking about Israel, and it's like, you were
I love Danny
and
and
then they
Mitch,
went
yeah.
woke.
and this went woke. It used to be good Hasbara, and now it is bad
Bad
Hasbara.
Hasbara. Oh,
The funniest one was last week. Some Twitter Zionist was going on a rant, this whole thread about how anti-Zionist Jews
Yeah.
are moral narcissists. How
Yes.
we're all doing it for the likes and
Oh,
just to
Jesus.
pat ourselves on the back, and self-congratulation of how moral we are. And as proof, she did a screenshot of our about page. It's like, Matt Lieb's podcast actually calls itself the most moral podcast in
oh
the
my
world.
god. Oh my
I'm out.
god.
And like, literally, this person has never heard
Much
the Israeli
more
army
lovely,
describe itself,
yeah.
and couldn't fathom that we were making fun of it.
That's
Yeah, that was
remarkable.
it's always great when someone is speaking like a Gen Z person where like I literally can't with this,
Yeah.
and the thing they literally can't with is understand the joke that is happening in front of their face.
Oh.
It was pretty great.
To me, nothing. To me, absolutely nothing beats an Israeli that lives in Israel
Mhm.
using the privilege concept to throw at
Oh, sure, yeah,
anti-Zionist or
Yeah.
anti-Zionist Jews, especially in the states. Like, it's easy for you to talk about it in L.A. or New York.
well, it
But if you
shouldn't be.
were
You're
here,
supposed to be
you
the
would
fucking
realize how fucking subhuman these people are.
Yeah.
well,
It goes
but
into
not only that, Hugo, but like according to their logic, they should be the ones with the privilege. They're supposed
Yes.
to
Yep.
live in
No.
the safe place for Jews, the one that I'm supposed to want to move to because my life is supposed to be so difficult in the diaspora. But the minute they get some pressure on them or some
Yes.
pushback or some observations about what their state actually entails,
Hmm.
they turn around and are like, "Well, you have it so easy in the
Easy.
cushy diaspora, which is literally the promised land for Jews, and we're toughing it out in hell over here." I'm like,
Yes.
"Okay, well, there goes your whole raison d'etre."
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They're holding. There's so much in Hasbara that is like just holding things that are polar opposites that like conflict on
Hmm.
every single level, and then just doing it one sentence after another. Just being like yeah, in the diaspora, the people don't like you. People hate Jews. In Israel, we are all happy and free, and it is the one safe place for Jews in the world. And if you talk shit about us, we'll say how privileged you are to live in the safe, the safe diaspora, and how scary it is for us out here. We just like, and you'd figure that level of like, insanity, you'd be able to just point out, like, read your previous sentence. Just read that. Read what
Too
you just
easy.
said. How does that?
Ah.
And you'd figure that would be enough for them to go, oh shit, you're
No.
right. But it's because they
No.
know they are doing Hasbara. They know they're
They don't
doing
care.
propaganda. They're like, okay, if that doesn't work, maybe this one will work. Maybe
They're
this one.
all Dylan G in the season 1 finale of Severance, desperately trying to hold two
Yes.
switches together
Yeah.
in opposite rooms, and their arms are fucking cramping.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Thank you for watching. To gain access to the full episode, receive 2 exclusive episodes a month, get every episode 1 week early, and help us stay as independent as possible, support us on Patreon through the link below.